Okay, so this is gonna be my review on Batman Haunted Knight, written by Jeff Loeb and art by Tim Sale. Um, before we start this review, there's a couple of things I want to get over before I move on. First off, yes, I like Jeff Loeb on a Batman book, and I've always said that Batman: The Long Halloween is my favorite Batman story. Uh, So, keep that in mind, people. So if you're a Loeb hater, I wouldn't say you can just turn off this review, because I really do like Loeb stuff like this and Long Halloween and Dark Victory, books like that. But I haven't read Dark Victory. Oddly enough, I've only read this. This and Long Halloween. That's about it. I have yet to read Dark Victory. So, moving on, the next thing I want to talk about is, this is actually three collected separate Halloween stories from Jeff Loeb, from Loeb and Sale. I'd like to add that this has nothing to do with the Long Halloween continuity. These are just three standalone stories that Jeff Loeb and Tim Sale did for Halloween. Now, let's move on to the review. The first story, these, like I said, are three separate standalone stories, and as always, three separate stories based around Halloween. First one is called Fear, and, no surprise of who the villain in that story is going to be. This is basically, the Scarecrow going around, it's counting down to Halloween, and, Batman's trying to find Scarecrow as he's releasing. Batman gets attacked by fear, by his fear gas, and he's tripping out. This is a really interesting story. There's actually one panel I wanted to talk about. There are actually several panels, but there's a few. One is that when Bruce Wayne goes to a costume party, if you look in the picture. And I gotta say, I love Sale, Tim Sale on a book like this. There are actually some characters you're gonna see in here that look. You can see Fon Bon. They're people dressed up as Madman from Dark Horse Comics. There's a character dressed in here trying to find him, because it's always fun to look at these. A lot of independent characters in here. They're dressed as. I thought I saw Spider-Man, but there's one dressed as Madman. Clearly, there's another dressed as one of the from the Bone comics. There's another who's dressed as Hobbs from Calvin and Hobbes. And as always, Sale makes a very fun book. And, he draws, actually. I'm sorry, I just totally lost my place. My bad. Sale actually draws a very interesting looking Scarecrow. He looks menacing. The only problem I have with Loeb on a book like that, I'm really starting to like, the only thing I don't like on Loeb with a book, especially with, is his thing with Scarecrow. He makes Scarecrow, some of his words don't make sense, and the other one, I know he's supposed to be crazy, but he makes up all these little Aesop fable. Like Mother Goose rhymes. He keeps saying over and over again, and it's kind of weird. But all in all, this is an okay story. The only thing that sets it apart from most Batman stories with Scarecrow is that Scarecrow in here, there's a woman in here who's trying to get close to Bruce Wayne. And there's an interesting take on her, but it's mostly focused, that's the focus there. Scarecrow's actually the subplot, in my opinion, in that story. It's not a bad story, it's just that we've seen it before, and we know, but there's some very beautiful artwork and scenery from Tim Sale. He really has whenever he draws Batman and the world of Gotham, it really has this gothic tone to it, in my opinion. But this is probably the longest story in here, by far. Next up is Madness. Now, Madness is actually my favorite story in here. Madness is a story about uh, the Mad Hatter. Now, you're probably thinking, oh, the Mad Hatter, he can't be that much of a threat. Oh, I beg to differ. What the other thing is cool is in here that there's a subplot between Barbara Gordon and Jim. And Jim is throughout. I should also mention that Jim Gordon in here is used like a very Jeff Loeb uses him like a very useful character rather than a side character, especially in this story, where it was just him and where it was him and Barbara. There's some good character development here. There's actually some good scenery. Mad Hatter in here is creepy as hell. He is really on that level of disturbed. He even manages to shoot Batman in the head. Now he doesn't. The bullet doesn't hit him. The bullet doesn't get into his head. It actually nicks him, but it does give him a concussion. Bruce Wayne a concussion. This is a very fun book. This is a very fun story. It's split into It's a two-part story where it has Batman encountering a woman that tried to treat him for psychological damage after his parents were murdered. And it also talks about why Batman just hates the Mad Hatter because his favorite story used to be Alice in Wonderland. His mother used to read it to him, and as Batman even says that he's perverting that tale every time he runs into it. It's like that's like one of the last good memories he has. So yeah, I really dug this story, especially with the subplots between Batman and this and the woman, the psychiatrist that used to treat him, and also the Bruce Wayne not Bruce Wayne, the Barbara and Jim's father-daughter relationship. So, and keep in mind this is before she became Batgirl. This is really fun. The final battle between and actually Mad Hatter actually fights in here. He fights back. He stabs Batman. He shoots Batman. So it's really cool. And I just love that scene where that final scene where he's fighting the Mad Hatter and he punches him into the window, into a glass mirror, and knocks him out. So that was pretty fun. I don't want to give away too much because it's a very good story. Now the last story isn't really that fun. It's not that great of a story. Now with this one, it's called Ghosts. Now Ghosts is another Halloween story where it has Bruce Wayne at a party when the Penguin shows up, and the Penguin, along with this is the other thing I love about Sale, is that Tim Sale draws these characters very creepy. Like Mad Hatter was creepy, Scarecrow's creepy, Joker is. I mean, people complain about that long jawline, but it gives him kind of, like I said, that gothic feel to him. With the Penguin, it starts out with just a battle between Batman and Penguin, and when Batman comes home after beating the crap out of him, he comes home and it turns into a tale. I'm not kidding. It's a Halloween version of Hans Christian Andersen's. I can't believe I'm forgetting it now. A Christmas Carol. Thank God. I can't believe I was forgetting all that. Yeah, it's based off of A Christmas Carol, only Halloween version, where Bruce Wayne first meets a ghost of his father. And now this is the story I didn't like this story because one, it's blatantly that a ripoff of, well, a parody of A Christmas Carol. But the other thing that ticks me off is that I'm going to spoil this one because this one doesn't really require reading, but this one doesn't really require reading because with this, Batman actually gives up. Bruce Wayne actually stops being Batman for one night, and I don't want to spoil the whole story, but this ending is what I want to talk about. Bruce Wayne actually stops being Batman for one night, And that seems like it doesn't. That story, as much as I love Loeb stuff, this is the one story I didn't like. Uh, because I've always read that, and I've always believed that Bruce Wayne is the mask, Batman is the real person. That's who Bruce Wayne really is. He is Batman. Bruce Wayne is the mask. And when, even if he gives up being Batman for one night, that doesn't really fit his character. I mean, yeah, it makes him more human, but even Bruce Wayne, he created the character of Batman to be, who he truly is. And I think it kind of goes back on the Batman mythos when, he decides I'm not going to be Batman for a night. The police can handle it. That doesn't really fit very well. I know I'm probably taking this to another extreme, but that's how I've always seen the character of Batman. But, all in all, the first two stories are really good. Oh, excuse me, the chair is bothering... The accursed chair. Anyway, like I said, this is... All in all, the third story aside... is... This is a really good book. Like I said, it has nothing to do with the... this is Loeb and Sale's actually first takes on Batman before they did Long Halloween and Dark Victory, and this has nothing to do with it. These are just 3 standalone stories, so I'd actually say this is actually a good Batman book if you're looking to get into Batman without looking into much continuity. I'd definitely say pick this up. Just 3 self-contained stories, because it basically has villains people already know about. This is also pretty cheap. This is about $14.99. I got it for a birthday present, but if you're out looking for it, this is a good startup. Along with Long Halloween and Dark Victory. But I'd say pick up this first, because this is another Batman book that doesn't require continuity. And if you're looking for something that looks visually beautiful, art-wise, I'd definitely say pick this up. I'd also say that if you're looking for interesting writing, Jeff Loeb really writes the character of Batman really well, third story aside. But I'd say definitely this is a definite buy for the first 2 stories alone with Mad Hatter and Scarecrow. This is a definite buy. But if you're interested in looking at that third story, I think you're going to get disappointed. You're actually going to like the stuff with the Penguin in there, but the rest of the stuff you're not going to like. But yeah, if you're watching this and you're wondering if you want to get into more Batman stuff, this is a good pickup. I know Rodney383 said he's looking for more Batman comics. I'm hoping you're watching this, Rodney. A lot of people who are looking to get into comics, especially Batman, this is a good start. And I know I keep saying that over and over again, but yeah, I really agree. I'd really say that, along with Long Halloween and Dark Victory. Those are definitely buys as well. But this one is probably the cheaper out of the 3 Loeb Sale books that they did for those Batman stories. But all in all, a really fun book. I got it for a birthday present from my dad last year, and it's really good. I really enjoyed this story, these 2 stories, very well. Like I said, the Mad Hatter story is actually my favorite because it's written very well. It perfectly shows. It clearly shows that the Mad Hatter is a dangerous villain, even though people don't take him seriously. Scarecrow story is my second favorite, because first off, its visual artwork in there is just especially for that Scarecrow story, is just visually beautiful. So all in all, yeah, this is a definite buy.